Good day, everyone. This is Aldrich Horulan Licaros. Welcome to my channel, The Research Web, Research Made Easy. Just connect with me so that you'll be updated in our videos, lessons. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button and or press thumbs up. Or if you have comments, questions, queries, don't forget to drop your comment in our comment box below. We're going to revisit the crucial parts in conceptualizing a quantitative data. Okay, so this is our objective for this lesson. Explains and illustrates the conceptual framework using IVDV or independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, so our topic this day is all about conceptual framework. Take note that this is a very vital part in our research study, and take note sometimes this becomes the crucial part because this is always to be correct and fitted to what is to be directed in our study. Now, talking about conceptual framework, sometimes the researcher finds this as difficult part. That is why researcher misleads on how to come up with correct conceptual framework. A conceptual framework is an analytical tool with several variations and contexts. Now, in research, this serves as a map, diagram representing simple or complex relationship or connection between variables of the research study. Take note of the word simple or complex relationship. So this is all about the interconnectivity of our variables. Now, conceptual framework is a visual representation that helps to illustrate a relationship between variables as what I have told you a while ago. Now, it also illustrates what the researcher expects to find in the study. It is the easiest, simplest, and most effective way to explain to the readers the direction of the research study. Now, it is really pointing where to go and what particular direction we are going to go in our research study. Now, because conceptual framework is one of the crucial parts of a research paper, it is a must to be certain that a conceptual framework will really function its role in the study, or else conceptual framework's vitality will not be realized. So that the researcher will come up with correct conceptual framework, I'll be giving to you the steps to consider in writing a conceptual framework. First, identify your research topic or title. This is very important, and yet the first thing in crafting, or shall we say drawing a conceptual framework in our study. Second, know your research questions. Another important part in the study that needs to be developed for the researcher is to be directed its goal. Now, the part that needs to be answered by the research study will be this research question. So this is a must that in our study, to develop conceptual framework, we need to know our research questions. Third, determine your variables. Now, from the topic of the study to be supported by our research questions, the variables are obviously seen. Now, from our topic, then with our research questions, we have there the presence of our variables. Third or fourth, conduct a comprehensive review of your review of literatures or studies. Now take note that out from our readings of the review of literatures, we can capture some important ideas and other variables that would help us in developing a nice and comprehensive conceptual framework. And now, it's your time to create your conceptual framework. Okay, so taking an example, for instance, we have this title, Mentoring Hours, its effect on the score of BS and math students in general mathematics exam. Take note that talking about this title, we have the direction. mayroon po tayong ginawa at saka mayroon pong bunga. So we have now the cause and effect. Now our variables will go like this. Our independent variable, we have the mentoring hours, and another variable, which is the dependent variable will be the score in general mathematics exam. Take note, as what I told you a while ago, we have the cause and effect relationship. Now the arrow pointing to the dependent variable coming from the independent variable of the mentoring hours pointing to the score in general mathematics exam. Take note, mayroong ginawa para magkaroon or there is something happen in the score in general mathematics exam. Take note that the concept of IVDV or the concept of making this independent variable to the dependent variable, there is what you call an intervention to be done or to be conducted, and there is what you call a result. Now, sometimes we need to consider other variables like we have this our moderating variable or mod v. Now, take note the function of this moderating variable. This will alter the effect that an independent variable has on a dependent variable. See, for instance, taking the same example, we have now the mentoring hours, its effect on the score of BS and Math students in General Mathematics exam. Take note, this is now the flow of our conceptual framework, wherein our independent variable is the mentoring hours, and we have now the dependent variable score in General Mathematics exam. Take note that this is cause and effect relationship, wherein there is what we call something to do with these mentoring hours to affect our score in general mathematics exam with our students. But however, there are instances that we have this moderating variable. Now, uh, the role of this moderating variable, say for instance an IQ, this will alter our independent variable which is mentoring hours. In other words, this IQ will control our mentoring hours to affect the score in general mathematics exam of our students. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay ang ating or the higher the IQ the students has, the lesser the mentoring hours ang ating ibibigay doon sa ating estudyante. However, kung ang ating estudyante may low IQ, the higher the mentoring hours ang ating ibibigay para magkaroon ng high score in general mathematics exam. Now, that is now the role of our moderating. Now, another intervening variable for or sometimes in our IVDV. Taking the same example, mentoring hours, its effect on the score of the BS and math students in general mathematics exam. Take note that this is now the flow of our conceptual framework. However, we have this mediating variable, number of practice problems solved. Now, this take note that the role of this mediating variable, this will help our intervening variable or our independent variable to affect our dependent variable which is the score in general mathematics exam. That means kung maraming problems or practice ng problems isosolve with respect to mentoring hours, ay lalaki or tataas din, aangat din ang score ng estudyante in general mathematics exam. Now, this is now the role of mediating variable in this particular conceptual paradigm. That's all for our topic this day. I hope you'll be gaining something with our lesson, and next time we'll be talking about conceptual framework using IPO or the input process output. To be updated always, don't forget to subscribe and hit bell button in your screen or just press thumbs up. Or if you have queries, questions, or clarifications, don't forget to drop your comments or questions in our comment box below. Thank you so much and God bless us all.